Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the July 2025 TDL Member Forum. It's been a couple of months since we met together in this format, so it's nice to be back and to see all of you. My name is Christy Park. I'm the Executive Director of the Texas Digital Library. As we gather today in this virtual space, we'll start as we usually do by acknowledging the physical places from which we're joining. I think all of us joining from the indigenous lands of Turtle Island, the ancestral name for what is now called North America. I'm joining from Austin, where the Tonkawa were among the traditional stewards of the land before their forcible removal. And I invite you to share your own land acknowledgements in chat if you'd like to. We'll follow our usual agenda. I'm joined by our Deputy Director, Courtney Muma, and Outreach Coordinator, Kiera Hunt, in providing updates today. We've got several other TDL staff in attendance. And I will start with some director's updates. Although before I do, I just wanted to acknowledge and say I hope everybody is having a good summer. It's been a interesting and difficult couple of weeks here in Central Texas, where I am, with the flooding and tragedies surrounding that. I hope all of you and yours are safe. And I know up in San Angelo and other parts of the state, there's been flooding as well. So I hope everybody's hanging in there and doing okay. I just wanted to acknowledge that briefly. So I'll start my director's updates here with a brief update from the last TDL Governing Board meeting, which took place on June 6th in Zoom. It was a virtual meeting. At its meeting, the board gave final approval to our strategic plan for the 3-year period starting in 2025, including objectives for implementing our 4 strategic directions, which I've shared with you all previously in this meeting. We'll put links in chat to the document that's published in our DSpace repository so that you can read through that if you wish to. The board also formed a nominating committee at this meeting to fill an at-large seat on our board for a 3-year term starting in September, and it approved our budget for fiscal year 2026. Courtney and I also took this opportunity with the board to share some annual reports from several of our member groups whose governance years ended between January and June, and to provide some updates on key initiatives and events, including our digital preservation services evolution and assessment, which Courtney, I think, will talk a little bit about later, support for larger data sets in TDR, and changes to the DPLA home organization and TCDL 2025, among other things. TDL also recently attended the 2025 International Conference on Open Repositories, which celebrated its 20th anniversary this year, just like TDL is. Courtney, Nick Woodward, and I all attended from the TDL staff, along with Christopher Starcher from Texas Tech, who presented as part of his work with TDL as our Vireo product manager. But the TDL membership more broadly was very well represented at the conference and in the program. There are some photos on this slide showing most of us. I don't think we're all pictured here. But the TDR was featured in 2 presentations. Courtney Millicent Weber from Baylor and Santee Thompson from U of H presented on TDR. Shelley Barba from Texas Tech and Emily Johnson from UTSA presented a poster reporting survey results on ETD embargo policies at Texas universities. And Shelley and Megan Scott, also from Texas Tech, won Best Poster for their poster entitled Prim and Proper Exploring Best Practices for Useful Title Creation on Non-Text Digital Items. So congrats to them. That was exciting to have Texas folks winning that, recognized in that way. We'll put some links in chat where you can find all the posters and presentation slides from open repositories, as well as recordings of the opening and closing keynote talks, both of which were excellent. And finally, before we move into service updates, I just want to amplify this webinar series announcement that was sent out by Spark this week, dealing with the federal agency public access policies that are being implemented in response to the Nelson Memorandum. So Spark and Authors Alliance are co-hosting 2 webinars next month, providing an overview of key elements of these policies, highlighting the differences between the different agency policies, and answering any participant questions. So there's one webinar on August 5th at noon. That one is focused on publication sharing requirements. And then the second one is on August 20th, and that one's focused on data sharing requirements. So these events are open to folks working at academic institutions. As far as I can tell, you don't need to be a Spark member to attend and to register. And we'll share links in chat to the registration pages. I think these will be good opportunities to just kind of stay abreast of what's going on with these policies. And get that information from folks who are really tracking this stuff closely. Okay, so we'll move on into our services and projects updates, starting with our digital repository hosting service. Our DSpace tech lead, Nick Woodward, recently completed upgrades to all of our hosted repositories to version 8.1. And I say recently, but that was way back in May. But since it's been a couple of months since we met, I thought it worth mentioning here. In addition to a new version of DSpace with some new features, that upgrade included a migration to a new Amazon Linux operating system. And I also wanted to let folks know that there was a new minor release of DSpace version 8.2 that was announced just this week. And many of our users will be happy to know that that release contains some changes to the community landing page that make that page configurable. So this means that if you want it to, and I know many of you do, the community homepages can go back to the old format with subcommunities and collections listed there rather than just a list of items. So so we are currently looking at the roadmap to schedule upgrades to our hosted DSpaces. I don't have anything definite on the schedule yet, but it is looking like we'll be able to do those in early fall. So we'll keep you posted on that, and we'll be discussing this and having open discussion at our next DSpace users group meeting, which will be on July 28th at 3 Central. So be sure to join us there. Before we get to those DSpace upgrades, though, Nick Woodward is leading a project to upgrade more than 85 hosted open access journals to a new version of OJS starting next week. We have sent out broad announcements about this upgrade to our OJS users group and to all of our journal contacts, and we'll be notifying each journal via help desk ticket as their upgrades take place. This will be a very minor version upgrade with no noticeable changes to the user interface of OJS. It is primarily an opportunity to move sites to the same updated operating system that our DSpace repositories are now using. So we've put a link in chat to a wiki page with more info about these upgrades. It includes a tentative schedule. So if you want to see when your institution's journals are likely to be upgraded, you can take a look at that. Our next OJS users group meeting will be August 7th at 10 a.m. So if you're supporting journals at your institution, I invite you to join us there. And that's it for me. I'm going to turn it over to Courtney to continue our service updates.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to start with the Digital Public Library of America and our Text Hub. Applications are now open for DPLA network grants. Successful applicants will present ideas that increase the impact of DPLA's cultural heritage aggregation efforts in some way. This could include projects like improving metadata harvesting workflows, developing digital curation tools, or other needs of the network as you see them. They welcome proposals from the DPLA community at any level, whether that's from DPLA hubs, contributing institutions, individuals, or groups. So don't hesitate to apply, even if your proposal is still in early stages. The form to apply will be at the link in chat, so please apply by August 7th, 2025. And in the first round, you're invited to express your initial interest. And then over the fall, the DPLA's grant committee will review those ideas and invite selected applicants to develop a full proposal. So again, if you just have an idea right now, that's okay. The funded projects then will be announced at the DPLA Network Summit at the end of October. And about that summit, the DPLA Network Summit will bring members of DPLA's community together for an important dialogue about the future of the DPLA's Cultural Heritage Program and managing the challenges of our work in the current environment, as well as sharing from individual hubs and experts. You'll also find a link with information about that summit in the chat. And finally, we're all set for the July harvest from our members' collections, including UT Southwest Medical's new tinned DA instance, which is a new system TDL has added to our harvesting capacity, thanks to Nick Woodward. Next up, an update on Vireo hosting. TDL open source developers have contributed to a new release, Vireo 4.3.0. You can read all about the release on GitHub at the link in chat, and product manager Christopher Starcher will share an email soon to the Vireo listserv detailing the changes in this version. But expect to see improvements in accessibility, email workflows, and error handling, as well as several bug fixes. TDL members will be upgraded to this version before the end of the summer. Please look for an email next week to schedule your time slot with our lead developer, Frank Smutniak. You might even see that email this week. Next up, our digital preservation service. Our digital preservation interest group has a new chair. So thank you to Matthew McInerney from Texas Tech for stepping up to lead us through what's going to be an exciting year in digital preservation at TDL. Hopefully we'll see many of you in the meeting tomorrow at 2 p.m. and you can find more information about the group at the link in chat if you're interested in joining. So good digital preservation programs advance over time to meet technical challenges and maximize benefits gained from thriving collaborative communities in what we know is an ever-changing ecosystem of services. We have found that it is time to assess and evolve TDL's digital preservation services. So the TDL Digital Preservation Services Transformation Task Force will devise a responsible and thoughtful plan for the future of TDL's digital preservation infrastructure and services that honors our members' values and ensures a sustainable and community-based solution for distributed digital preservation of repository content, journals, research data, and other cultural heritage content managed across TDL's hosted services and at our members' institutions. Right now, we're seeking volunteers to join us to recommend service infrastructure elements, administrative changes, and migration pathways to TDL staff and its boards for implementation between 2026 and 2027. You might have seen the call for volunteers in your emails. It is open until this Friday, July 18th. Please email me directly at my email in chat to join the group that's going to determine our path into the next decade of TDL digital preservation. It's an exciting time, folks, and so I hope we've had lots of volunteers so far. We're excited for you to join us. Next, we'll move into our community updates with our amazing outreach coordinator, Kiera Hunt.
Thanks, Courtney. Well, everyone, it's that wonderful time of the year again. We're happy to announce TCDL 2026. So save the date. It's going to be happening June 2nd through 4th, 2026 in Austin, Texas. The Texas Conference on Digital Libraries is more than just a conference. It's a vibrant community dedicated to advancing digital scholarship and library innovation. So the call for TCDL committee volunteers is now open if you want to be a part of the committee. So a little bit of background about the committee. We are going to be collaborating with passionate colleagues to share the future of digital libraries and create an impactful experience for our community of digital library professionals and enthusiasts at the premier digital library event in Texas. And if you want to be a part of this committee, we have information about the time frame that you'll be dedicating to helping us plan our conference, and we will have that link in the chat. And the deadline to apply is August 22nd, 2025. Next up, don't miss the TDL GIS Interest Group's GeoReference-a-thon. So join us Friday, July 25th from 1 to 3:30 p.m. for a free session that will focus on teaching complete beginners how to georeference scan maps. Feel free to bring your own maps or use provided maps from our institution's collections. No prior GIS or georeferencing experience necessary. Also bring whatever sweet treat or snack or drink that you like to use to beat the Texas heat. And registration is required, and we will have more details about that in the chat. Next, don't miss the OER at TDL, OER course making, promoting open and affordable resources webinar. In the session, we will hear how 3 institutions have initiated and improved upon course making processes for their students. They will share their challenges, successes, and future plans to establish sustainable course making workflows in order to better promote open and affordable resources. Registration is required, and we will also have a link in the chat with details about how you can join that meeting. Next up, don't miss the 2nd annual Texas Digital Humanities Symposium hosted virtually by Baylor University from September 9th through 11th, 2025. Connect with scholars and practitioners from across Texas and beyond in a fully virtual environment. This 3-day symposium offers a unique opportunity to engage in stimulating discussions, share innovative research, and explore the latest trends in digital humanities. Each day will feature 2.5-hour blocks, 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon, designed to accommodate diverse schedules and ensure a focused and engaging experience. The keynote speaker is Dr. Heidi J. Hornick, professor and chair of the Art and Art History Department at Baylor University, and she will speak on visualizing and mapping art history, digital humanities manifested in the arts. Registration is required, and more details will be in the chat so you all can learn more. Next up, who owns our knowledge is the theme for this year's International Open Access Week, which is happening October 20th through 26th. This year's theme asks a pointed question about the present moment and now. In a time of disruption, communities can reassert control over the knowledge they produce. It also challenges us to reflect not only who has access to education and research, but on how knowledge is created and shared, where it has come from, and whose voices are recognized and valued. So if you're planning an event for Open Access Week, we love to hear about it and we'll love to amplify it. You can submit your events to be featured on the TDL blog, and we'll have more links in chat so you can submit your event and also learn more about OA Week. Next, here are more upcoming meetings and events happening at TDL. A reminder that these meetings and events are free and open to anyone, and you're always welcome to invite your campus partners and non-TDL member colleagues in your network to join us. So tomorrow, July 17th at 2 p.m., we have the Digital Preservation Interest Group meeting. On Friday, July 25th at 1 p.m., we have once again, the TDL GIS Interest Group's GeoReference-a-thon. On Monday, July 28th at 3 p.m., we have the DSpace Users Group meeting. On Wednesday, July 30th at 1 p.m., we have the OER at TDL OER Course Making webinar. And jumping into August, on Thursday, August 7th at 10 a.m., we have the OJS User Group meeting. Wednesday, August 13th at 1 p.m., we have the Harmful Content and Description meeting. And also on Wednesday, August 13th at 3 p.m., we have the OER Users Group meeting. And on Thursday, August 14th at 3 p.m., we have the Open Knowledge Access Interest Group meeting. So lots happening in July and August. And we'll have more details about our August What's Happening at TDL in the chat as well. So you can check out the latest TDL announcements for upcoming meetings, events, and programs on our social media channels and in our bi-monthly email newsletter and announcement listserv. We'll share more info about our Get Involved page in the chat, where you can learn how you can get connected with TDL and how to learn more about what's happening. If you would like to contribute any news, announcements, project updates, or other content to an upcoming issue in our bi-monthly TDL newsletter or TDL blog, we would love to hear from you. So you can email us at info@tdl.org with all of your ideas. And that's all for community updates. If you have any questions, email us at info@tdl.org. And back over to you, Christy. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Kiera. We have some time for questions here at the end, if anybody has any. And I'll just remind you, as I always do, that we have the anonymous feedback form linked here on the slide and in chat as well, if you'd like to let us know that way if you have a question or suggestion for TDL. Okay. I'm not seeing any questions or anybody typing in chat, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up there. Give you a few minutes of your day back. Thanks everybody for joining us. It's always good to see you, and we'll see you in one of our many meetings or events coming up over the next few weeks. Everyone take care. Have a good rest of the summer.